Welcome back, AutoCAD for Technician students. This video is going to show you how to make a two-dimensional model of some components. So this is actually going to apply to almost all things you're going to measure and actually draw with AutoCAD. So first thing I'm going to show you here is this motor starter, or this contactor, I guess you would call it. It doesn't have overload contacts, so it is actually a contactor. So oftentimes you would use AutoCAD to draw this component, an actual pictorial drawing of this component, and you would use it for laying out a basic electrical panel or any electrical panel for that matter. So it's very helpful to be detailed in your drawing and to actually include labels and things like that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is, you see I have a white piece of paper underneath this contactor. I'm actually just going to draw the basic shape of this, and it doesn't have to be accurate. It's just a sketch. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to measure parts of this. Oh, I forgot this little bump on top here. Okay. So I'm actually going to measure some parts of this. So using our dial caliper, which you learned how to use in previous videos, we can read that this is 1.693 inches. Okay, so I'm going to measure or draw in here 1.693. And then the height, if we just kind of look at it and eyeball it, this top height right here is about the height of the whole contactor. Okay, and it's not critical to be perfect, but close is good. So this distance is 2.771. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this distance here as 1 point, that's pretty close to 1.1. We'll just go with that. And then this one, I want to measure, okay, I'm going to try to use the flats on your caliper. This is 0.99. We'll go 0.99. Okay, so put that in our sketch. 0.99, 1.1. Always measure twice, cut once. I think I forgot that measurement, so measure twice. 1.1. Okay. So that's the basic dimensions of this contactor here. Okay. So now for our holes, we can actually measure to the edge of the hole, or the quadrant is 0.115. So 114, 115. So what I'm going to do is actually show this drawing on here. Show circles. .115. Okay. That's going to just kind of extend across here. We're going to measure the diameter of the circle using the inside of our caliper, the inside measurement tool. It is going to be 0.3 inches. If you look at the caliper, 0.3. we're going to measure the distance from the edge. So it's 0.1, let's see if I can get that glare off there, 0.184. Put that on my sketch. I'll measure the distance between these. Point 213. And this one's going to be the same. 0.213. And this is going to be 0.184. Okay, so there's my sketch. And you can probably, it's safe to assume that the bottom is exactly the same as the top. You'd just be measuring off this bottom here. Okay? And now for this upper piece, you can actually just measure, we'll measure from this point here is 0.9. I'm sorry, 0.09. So 0.090. 0.090. And this one is 0.090 from here. Okay. Now, obviously, my sketch is not perfectly accurate, but it defines this pretty well. Okay, and then later on, actually, I would actually dimension this center so it looks like a contactor. I'd measure this square here and measure the center here. Okay, but for right now, I'm actually going to open up my AutoCAD software and show you how to actually draw this based on our dimensions. So I'm going to slide this over to the right. Open up AutoCAD. Just open up our base drawing here. See if I can get both these on the screen here. Right. So let's erase this. This is from a previous recording. So I'm going to actually draw these dimensions we have on here. So let's start, specify that line. I'm going to go 1.693. I'm going to go up 2.771. I could have made a box too, but I'll show you why I do this way. It's easier to offset a line than offset a box. Okay, so we have our base contactor here, and now I want to actually draw this part here, and I missed one dimension. I missed the height. So actually I'm going to go back here and measure this height. Now this one is going to have to be kind of a guess. I don't know how high it actually is. like I said, it's not critical for you to be perfect, but pretty close is good. So we're going to go with 0.436. So actually I'm going to offset this top line 0.436. Okay. And then okay, and then I'm going to actually draw a line from the midpoint. I gotta turn my object snap on. Midpoint. Okay. So I actually want to draw a line. Turn my grid snap off. Straight up from here. The reason I do that is if we look at this contactor, this tab on top is directly in the center of the contactor. So we can actually draw it based off our measurements and the center of the contactor. So if we remember what the base was 1.1 inches. So half of that, let's pull up our calculator. 1.1. Obviously I shouldn't need a calculator for this, but I am so I don't make a mistake. 0.55. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to offset this center line here 0.55 inches. Okay. And then this top of this tab was 0.99. So calculator again. Clear 0.99 divided by 2 equals 0.495. So that's my offset distance. Offset 0.495. Okay, so now all we need to do is draw a line from here to there. Okay, this line can delete, this line can delete, this line can delete, and then we're going to trim the rest of them. So trim, then push enter, and it'll just trim off unnecessary items. Okay, we'll have to delete these two. There you have it. So there's that. Next is our holes. So the way I do this is I actually make my circles. So I'll make a circle, specify my center point, I don't care where that is right now, but I want a diameter of 0.3. So see on the screen it says specify radius. So I could specify 0.15, or I can put say D and then say 0.3. Okay, and now if we zoom in to our drawing on here, you can see the edge of this circle is 0.184, okay, from the edge, and 0.115 on the top. So again, we have some offset distance. Offset 0.115, the top, offset 0.184, Okay, so that doesn't really do a whole lot for us, because when we try to snap this or move this circle, move, actually we can select quadrant, tangent. Okay, so I can move it, okay, but it doesn't give me anything to snap to, so that's not going to do us any good. But what we can do, since we know the diameter of the circle, we can offset this line, the radius of the circle. So the diameter is 0.1 or 0.3, so the radius is 0.15. Okay, now we go to move this, move, we'll select this quadrant. Look at that. Look where our hole ends up. Perfect. So now, if we want to offset, since we have the center point here, see this drawing here, 0.213, we can offset the same distance only using this line instead of this line. So offset 0.213. I'm sorry, that is actually using the edge of this hole. So we have to add 0.15 to 0.213. Let's get our calculator out again. .15 plus 0.213, 0.363. So offset 0.363. So a lot of this drawing is actually mental. You have to do a lot of thinking based on what your sketches are and where you're basing your drawings from. Okay. So I forgot my number, guys. 0.15 plus 363. So offset 0.363. Enter. Okay. So there would be the edge of the next line, and we need to offset this 0.15. So instead of making a new circle, I can actually just copy this one from this quadrant, paste it there. Okay, so if what I did there was confusing, I'm sure it was because I stumbled around a little bit. What I did is actually, if we look at our sketch here, this measurement was 0.184 from the edge of the contactor to the edge of the first circle. Okay, and the reason I couldn't use that is because there was nothing to snap to actually get that circle exactly there. So what I did is I offset this line half of the diameter of the circle so we have the center. So 0.15. Now we could use this upper quadrant. Remember, a quadrant is actually 4 points around a circle. You have 0 and 90, 270, or 180, 270, 360. Okay, so the 4 quadrants on a circle, you can use them to snap to, and that's what I use to snap here. And then this measurement, 0.213, was from this edge to this edge. Okay, but then I needed to add 0.15 for this distance here, and another 0.15 for this distance here. So our center of this circle was 0.213 plus half of this circle and half of this circle from this line. Okay, so I'm going to do this last circle and then I'm going to leave the rest up to you guys. So I guess one way we could do this too, we could offset 0.15. Now watch where that brings us. That brings us right to the edge of this circle. And then this distance, 0.213, offset 0.213, enter, there. Now that's not the center of our circle, so we need to offset 0.15. Then I'm going to copy from this quadrant. See my snaps clear the quadrant. Move right there. Okay. Now don't delete these lines after you draw them because you'll use them for the bottom. So now all you have to do for your bottom is figure out this distance from the bottom of the contactor to the top, okay, or to the base of the holes, and copy these circles, paste them down here. Very simple. Okay, and then don't forget to actually draw out this square, so measure a distance from the edge of the contactor to this square and make that in the center. And if you want to, you can actually add the model number and everything, the ratings and all that. You can add those at a later date after you learn how to annotate. So if you have any questions, contact your instructor. Good luck. Happy drawing.